Ahoy, ahoy, and welcome to a brand new edition of Ramble on Bottom 5.
What?
So this is going to be the Ramble on Bottom 5 of 2016. We actually just recorded a special of doing our top 10 of 2016, but we figured also we want to talk about the stinkers, and we're just going to do a video.
For all of the highs, there of course has to be some lows.
Exactly. So, and because this is going to be a shorter video, we're pretty much just going to talk about them and be like, do it very briefly. If there's one we have in common, we'll save it for whoever has it stinkier. And without further ado, Eric, what is your... We'll do them one by one.
Okay.
So what is your fifth worst movie of the year?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. As if you watched our videos, you can tell that was the exact moment my childhood died.
See, I purposely avoided this movie because I wanted to keep my childhood for a little bit longer.
Yep,
so I still haven't seen it.
Mine died, and it had all the hopes because I was finally getting Bebop and Rocksteady and Casey Jones, but instead, no, I get crap on screen, and none of it made sense. No one acted good. Poor Laura Linney.
Acted good.
Poor Laura Linney had to suffer for the studio so she could get a paycheck. It was just bad.
So, nothing good to say about Out of the Shadows. My number 5, I think we're going to have to wait and talk about it a little bit later on, is Suicide Squad.
Yep, we're flushing that down.
We're flushing it down, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
You're number 4.
Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
See, surprisingly, that doesn't make my list, mostly because I had really high expectations, but it was like... eventually I'll watch the 3-hour one, and if the 3-hour one is as better as people are saying, then it totally gets a pass.
Guess what? It's not.
Because
I'm the one who watched the 3-hour version after somebody's been pressing and telling everyone on our podcast and videos, oh, we're going to watch the 3-hour special, and then we're going to do a review. My name's Dan. I'm handsome.
When did I turn into Mickey Mouse?
I don't know.
Oh, Pluto.
Look at my Buckeyes.
I really want to go and watch Batman vs Superman.
I'm Michael Cena now.
Okay, so tell me the finer points of why this movie is terrible.
This movie just completely fails. I mean, Lex Luthor is crap. Doomsday is unneeded and crappy. You have a Superman who doesn't want to be Superman. You have Martha Kent giving some of the worst advice ever.
Martha.
Martha. You have a movie called Batman v Superman. You build up this epic fight between the two most iconic superheroes, and it only happens for 7 minutes, and the reason they're fighting makes absolutely no sense. You have Zack Snyder directing, which is always a negative.
Always a plus.
Negative. And then again, the only redeeming quality is you have a good Batman and Ben Affleck, and Gal Gadot is showed some hope for Wonder Woman, but if that Wonder Woman fails, DCEU is done.
And that's the thing. The DC's been failing so much so far. I had hopes. They were very...
When Man of Steel's your best film.
Yeah, they were very mitigated hopes. My number 4 is Zoolander 2.
Oh, the one you were so excited to see.
I was excited to see Zoolander 2. And if I learned anything after seeing Anchorman 2, is I really shouldn't have been... This had none of the charisma of the first one. It had the same characters, and they are... just terrible people, as opposed to being shallow, vapid airheads who actually were good people. They're just bad and unmotivated characters. And Will Ferrell was not any fun to watch with Kristen Wiig. And the whole movie was a hot mess. Big hot mess. I really was like, bleh. Did not enjoy this movie at all. Your number 3.
Number 3, coming from DC, but the animated, it is The Killing Joke.
Surprise.
Yes, it was released in theaters for one night, and I feel really bad for anyone who spent money to see that in theaters.
A lot of DC hate on this list of yours.
Disappointing cinema.
So, Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. It's based on the critically acclaimed short, I don't want to say short story, but graphic novel by Alan Moore, and he had the perfect chance just to recreate it, but instead he decided to tack on a 45-minute Batman animated series episode that was horrible and offensive to gay people because they had the stereotypical gay best friend, like the 90s stereotypical gay best friend. And, you know, they had the unnecessary sex scene between Batgirl and Batman on top of a building. unnecessary swearing. Like, the only added that 45 minutes so it can get its R rating, to get fans all excited. And then when you actually get to the Killing Joke, they don't even do that right. Especially the awkward musical number with the Joker, which made no sense and didn't even belong. It wasn't even the original. They just added it because, hey, we need this. You can even tell when Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, who've been Joker and Batman for 20 years now, they didn't give a crap.
Yeah. So, well, you clearly didn't enjoy that movie.
Yep.
My number 3 was Keanu.
Really? I was more disappointed. I couldn't put it on my bottom.
And see, that's the thing is, I had such high hopes to where you get
you and your expectations.
And that's the thing. This is definitely the one that fell the furthest because you had Key and Peele, who are comedy masterminds.
Yes.
Like, they are. Like, have you noticed, like, they're not really doing as many skits and they're definitely jumping onto other people's projects more since this movie's come out?
Well, they've stopped doing the show last year.
So, I'm not saying this is directly because of it, but this movie
really, your conspiracy theory map in your basement says otherwise.
This movie suffers from so many tone changes that you get whiplash because the characters don't know who they want to be, so you don't know who you want the characters to be, and the entire movie suffers for it. They try to ground it in reality at the end of the movie. It really doesn't play well. The action falls flat.
Yeah.
A lot of the acting falls flat, and I expected a better movie out of their... Like, this is a movie that the best parts are in the trailer, and everything else is just kind of shit.
And also the George Michael bit just kept... There's nothing to it.
It was beaten to the ground. If you do it half the amount of times, I'm all for using a bit over to get more comedy. You use that bit half as much, it's twice as funny.
Yep.
So, yeah, but it's bottom because it was that disappointing to me. So...
My number 2... Finishing up the trifecta of crap from DC and Warner Brothers, Suicide Squad. Wacky waveable villains now on sale.
With a beam of lights going into the sky.
I know this movie was rushed into production with a script that only took 6 weeks to make, but my God.
I couldn't defend that.
This movie was crap from beginning to end. When the music soundtrack sounds like somebody going through a radio station, like the old-fashioned way by turning the knob.
A lot. Like, that took me out of this movie a lot immediately. The reason it doesn't go higher for me is because I didn't really have high expectations for this to begin with. So, the fact that it didn't have much to meet for me, it didn't have much to jump over. But after we bitched about it and we talked about it for an hour straight on one of our rambles, there really isn't a whole lot to redeem about this movie.
There's no redeeming qualities. I mean, yeah, everyone's like, oh, Margot Robbie, Will Smith. You knew they were going to be fine going into it.
Yeah.
But you have two...
Diablo's the only real surprise.
But when you have a movie that has so much exposition but not enough exposition, that's a problem. When you have Jared Leto trying to go full-blown method actor and do all this crazy stuff backstage for 10 minutes of crap on screen... No,
unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
He was not.
His character was horrible. No. This is the worst Joker I've ever seen, and he just didn't know what they were doing. It was rushed. No one's character arc makes sense outside of Diablo, and it was just when I'm sitting there going, "Man, Batman v Superman wasn't that bad." That's the ultimate sin.
That's what.
Actually, no, it's not the ultimate sin. My number one has the ultimate sin, but it's up there.
We have the same number one.
I think so.
Independence Day 2.
Have we done your number 2?
No, we didn't do my number 2. We skipped to number 1. But back to my number 2. Surprisingly, The Secret Life of Pets.
Dan hates dogs.
No, this movie doesn't make any sense. Like, it makes zero fucking sense. Like, you kind of buy it to begin with, where it's like, oh, this would be cool if this is what pets did while we were gone. But then it quickly gets kind of dark, and you don't realize how dark it gets because it's a kid's movie. But it's like, oh, wait a minute, these are all rejected pets. That pig literally has tattoos on it of where they were going to butcher it. These pets are going to eat other pets. Kevin Hart is a bunny that's threatening to kill, like, these 2 domesticated pets. And, like, there's a gang that lives in the sewer of pets. Wait a minute, all this happened in one day? They left from Manhattan and came back to Brooklyn and then went back to Manhattan and then they went over the Brooklyn Bridge in a truck that like fell into the water. No. And this movie's gonna get a sequel because it made a lot of money, but as far as being a movie that like stands on its own 2 feet, no. It's a bad movie.
Okay, so our parent joint number 1 is Independence Day Resurgence.
This was the biggest piece of shit I saw.
It's the only movie I've given an F to this
The only reason I think I gave it a D or a D plus because visually it's entertaining.
No, it's horrible. Visuals are horrible. Like Arrival has better special effects.
Yeah. But the dumb popcorn movie of the first one, that's the only reason I even gave it.
Like it's even that bad. Like it was pretty much like Roland Emmerich's greatest hits, but more like the failure album. Where you have like the giant alien mother, like, hey, remember Godzilla? We have the stupid tsunami title of, hey, remember 2012 or the day after tomorrow? Now, when I said earlier, Suicide Squad, they had the ultimate sin. I was thinking about Batman v Superman. No, that's second. The greatest sin is when I saw this in theater. There was a guy who was texting on his phone in front of me. Instead of being like, hey, turn off the film, turn that off and try to watch. I was more interested in his conversation with what's going on the screen. Like, sorry, not Will Smith and Liam Hemsworth, the lesser of the Hemsworth brothers. This conversation's more important and more charismatic than you two.
It was early in the...
And also, it's anti-beard, because Pullman. He's all, when he has his beard, he's all, oh, I'm crazy, no one listen to me. And then he shaves his beard and he tries to give that same speech again. You movie.
It was more along the lines of like we knew it was going to be bad when both me and a friend of the show Jared we saw it, and then they have a character that walks into Brent Spiner, Data, because everyone knows him as Data. They walk into Brent Spiner's hotel room because he's been in a coma since he got
killed in the first one.
No, they retconned that in a video online where he's still alive. But like literally, someone walks into his room with a plant. They set down the plant and they go, can you believe it's been 2,700 days since you were awake?
No, the other thing is like the oil painting of Will Smith has more charisma than most of the cast. But no, this movie also teases you better movies. Like the African warlord talking about like, oh, we used to have to kill him like this. And I was like, I want to see that movie.
Yeah,
or
cool.
The ending where it's like, we can travel to other planets. Let's go kick some alien ass.
Yeah, it's setting up sequels that no one ever wants to see.
It's never going to happen again, thank God.
That was by far my worst draft pick this year.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
It was the worst movie.
That's our bottom 5. Definitely make sure you check out our top 10 because that's a much more better, and more exciting list.
Yes. So let us know, what were your bottom 5 movies of 2016?
Please let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell us because we definitely want to know. We want to know what to avoid. Yeah. Essentially. So that's clever, Eric Muller sitting.
That's handsome Dan Knight.
And ahoy, ahoy. Check out that other top 10 one.
Ramble on.